Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another video for a new character release and a new EX move that is released, and I'll be talking about them, explaining the description, the skills and everything, and I'll have a hot take on the EX, so bear with me a little bit. So here we go. First of all, we've got the new character, which is Summer Poison. Absolutely fantastic art, I love her. She's a support damage dealing character, which is really good, and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you how good she is, specifically on some setup and lineups, such as Bison teams. She's absolutely perfect for that team. And we'll be talking about why and why is that. Now, she's a support, she's a tech user. It means she has a lot of crit rate, crit damage, and a little bit of dodge, low on HP. And she's an infernal character. It means she goes with the infernals. The first support, actually a good support, actually a decent healing support for the infernal characters. Let's go and check her skills and talk about her in the gallery, since in the gallery we can unlock her, or we can see her completely, fully. Here she is, the brand new Summer Poison, which is really nice. And this time, this poison actually does not go and hit your targets or go to the front line. She hits from the back line. This is why she's good with double Bisons, especially for story sages, that they can't go and hit you in the back line. They hit only the front line, and she has good survivability mechanics. So first of all, her super. We're gonna talk about her super, then go talk about her passive, because we're gonna explain her dot or her debuff that she does on the enemies. So she heals right off the start. So throw a sun hat that explodes upon hitting an enemy, dealing damage that is equal to 131% of attack to all enemies in an area. For every target hit, HP that is equal to 104% of attack will be restored fully to all the fighters, which is really good. Increases the damage to 150% and then increases the healing to 120. Good. The level 3. When the explosion hits the target, it has a 40% chance to inflict alluring sand, which is really good, on the target for 18 seconds. Now, let's talk about the passive and what is alluring sand. So, whenever a friendly fighter attacks a target with alluring sand, Summer Poison deals additional damage that is equal to 65% of attack to all enemies and restores HP that is equal to 65% of attack to the friendly fighter with the lowest HP percentage. Trigger interval 3 seconds, and it goes to 2 seconds, I think. We'll be talking about that also. So the thing about this passive, which is really good, that you'll be playing teams that deal damage over time, which is good for her actually when she starts her super. Now, of course, if you're playing the double Bison teams, the thing that will happen to you, you will get massively hit for the two Bisons. They will start exploding. You don't have time to press their combos. The thing that you can do with this kind of lineup is you can start with her super and use the C1 from tag position, and if you want, you can use the C1 of Bison if he can have the time or window to use his C1, then the C2 of Overlord Bison or the tag position if you want, and then her C3. Her C1 super and her C3 are from back position, from behind, so you can counter her with Viper. You can play, if you want, somebody like Gen as an assist, and she will not be hit for 2 at least hits from backlines. Or you can play something else on her, like Luke maybe. You can play Virgil, you can play Witch Jury. I mean, Witch Jury will not help unless it's only just lifesteal, but she has also invincibility or immortality or immune to damage at some point, at least one time in the game. So we'll be talking about that. So increases the additional damage to 75% of attack, and this damage is really noticeable. You deal a lot of damage actually with her. I thought that she will be on paper bad, but actually in practice she's really good. Increases the healing to 75% of attack, reduces the trigger interval for additional damage and healing to 2 seconds, which is really good. Now, increases the additional damage to 69%. Now, this is unlocks when you have the Toxic Love, which is the charming one for normal poison or the street poison. You can use it as well on her, and it will increase the damage and the healing, which is really good. Now, her C1, which you can use, it's not bad actually, but I will highly prefer if you use her super on these teams. Now, on other teams, you can use her C1 because the alluring will hit many targets because you're gonna apply it a lot. Then she will add more damage to you, and it will help you increase your DPS. So, perform 2 consecutive uppercuts But this one, you need to understand that the C1 will allow her to go to the front. She will not be a backline. She will go to the front to do the uppercuts because she does it as melee form. And it's a single target only. To the nearest enemy, dealing damage equal to 208% of attack. The first uppercut has a 50% to do alluring for 18 seconds, and it goes to 100%, and it increases the damage, which is good. I highly advise if you want to play a safe gameplay, if you're using her with Bison's team, if you're even using her with the Turtle teams, or using her with another team that is really hoping that your tank will tank and she will not get affected, you can use her super or her C3 or both of them and she will stay behind. This is how you need to play her actually, and I've done a lot of runs on the trials actually with her, and I checked how much damage that she can take. She can keep your entire team alive with her healing. Her healings are insane. It's really good. So her C3. Love Mirage, nice name. Summon a fleeting heart to a random enemy. When the heart bursts, it deals damage that is equal to 317% of attack to all enemies in a large area, and it also inflicts alluring sand on the targets for 18 seconds. It doesn't have base chance or whatever. It will 100% guarantee you to drop alluring sand on the characters, which is really good actually. For 10 seconds after this skill is unleashed, whenever a friendly fighter attacks the target with alluring sand, deal additional true damage equal to 65% of summer poison's attack to all enemies. Interval time is 2 seconds, which is the main source of her damage actually, after using her C3, which give you a window of 10 seconds for everybody to attack these characters and deal true damage. And true damage is the utmost best damage in the game. So increase the damage to 365% of attack, increases true damage to 75% of her attack, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now let's read her fighting spirit. Now she have HP scaling, which is good, and her attack scaling is very good actually, because she works with her attack to scale off of it for the true damage. Okay, so Vibrant Theater. So alluring sand reduces the target's attack by 10% for 18 seconds. Also, you reduce the attack, so it will make you play more defensive and take less damage. At +5, her assist. When the battle starts, alluring sand is inflicted to a random enemy for 18 seconds, which means in bossing they will get it no matter what. When the assisted fighter attacks the target with alluring sand, deal damage that is equal to 38% of summer poison's attack to the target, and restore HP that is equal to 38% of Summer's Poison's attack to the friendly fighter with the lowest HP percentage every 2 seconds, which is really good. This is fine. +10, upon dealing additional damage through Alluring Sand, Summer Poison attack will increase by 5% for 4 seconds, and it can stack up for 6 times. Now, why 4 seconds? I know it's a low count for it to trigger, but the thing is that every time you attack the target that has Alluring Sand, so if you go back to back with 2 units, that's a 10% increase, and it stacks up to 6 times, and she can apply it again, and you have a window of 4 seconds to apply it again, and so she increases her attacks massively. By default, her C3 will deal even more true damage. This is how good it is. So her kit works perfectly with her. And this is good actually. So +20, Alluring Sand reduces the target crit rate by 15% for 18 seconds. For 18 seconds, they will decrease 10% of their attack, and crit rate, it will mean you will take less crits on your characters, which is really good defensively, especially to keep her alive if she's in the backline and she's gonna get hit by any other characters. So, upon dealing, this is +30, upon dealing additional damage through Alluring Sand, increase the attack of all friendly fighters by 5% for 4 seconds, stacks up to 6 times, and this can reset and reset and reset, and you can keep applying this, and it stacks up to 6 times. Now, yes, 6 times is not the best thing ever, but it's a 30% increase in attack, which is really good at +30 if you want to have her. Her cars, and this is the most important one, and we're going to be talking about them. 3 out of 3, whenever a friendly fighter attacks the target with Alluring Sand, trigger 2 additional heals. Each heal restores HP equal to 75% of attack to the friendly fighter with the lowest HP percentage every 2 seconds, which is really good. This is good. It's actually not that OP, not that super, but it's good with sustainability. The most important thing is the 6 out of 6. Upon receiving fatal damage, nullify the instance of damage and inflict Alluring Sand on the attacker for 18 seconds. Then recover 50% of max HP. So it means this is the mechanic is, yes, you can bypass immunities with other characters, but upon hitting and you know that you will die, you immediately recover 50% of your HP, so they need to bypass it again and take through the damage immunity, which make her a little bit of a survival, just like how Michelangelo does. Michelangelo will die, but he doesn't die because he restores HP and go back to his full potential, which makes her do the same job. This is why she's a little bit more tankier than other supports in the backline position. Then recover 50% of max HP for the next 5 seconds, during which this fighter gains damage immunity and is stunned. Triggers once per battle. So she gets stunned upon this as well. She gets stunned for how long? They say that she gets stunned. I think because she gained the damage immunity for 5 seconds. Maybe she gets stunned for 5 seconds. I didn't test it yet completely fully. I will try to hop on and summon her on a different account, that is Whale account actually, and max her out and check her completely to her full potential. Now let's talk about the new thing that we want to talk about, which is where is it? The perks. Okay, so we got the Scarlet Dragon, and we have the Vigilante, of course, that we have, which is acquired as free-to-play. You can get it as free-to-play. Now, this one, I didn't see any drop. I did some of my fast gains. I did something, but it's not acquirable. I didn't get any shards of it. So it's only by summoning here. And you see that you need to pay at least $50 to get a copy of it in the value. Because whenever I activated this, it was in the Turkish area when I was living in Turkey. So I don't know why it doesn't go to dollars. But $50 need you to require this skill. Now let's talk about how good it is. So it's exclusive to Vega users. So Kami and Vega. If it's Conde Vega and normal Vega, you can equip it and you will get more extra damage by Resonance 3. Summon a tornado that deals damage equal to 240% of the deployed allied fighter's average attack to all enemies. When the tornado hits the target, it triggers an explosion that deals damage that is equal to 120% of the deployed friendly fighter average attack to enemy fighters in a small area. The explosion also inflicts bleed for 10 seconds and it deals 100 damage, not 100% of damage. It deals 100 damage per second for 10 seconds. It means it deals 1000 flat damage per second for the inflicted targets with bleed, which is not that much highly. So there's no utility in using it except debuffing with bleed. And if you're working with a lot of bleed comps that are let's say benefit from having bleed on their enemies, this might help you, but it's not that big as utility wise, so I wouldn't highly recommend it just for that. Let's read. With upgrades, does it become better? Increase the tornado explosion damage of the deployed fighters. The bleed effect stacks up to 3 times. Fine. Whenever the tornado explosion hits an enemy 3 times, it means you deal 3000 damage. Which you need to understand that in story, in bossing, and stuff like that, the HP pool is so big. So 3000 damage is nothing. Whenever the tornado explosion hits an enemy fighter, the attack of a random friendly fighter will be increased by 8% to 10 seconds. This is the only good thing about it, that it will increase at 3 stars. One random fighter, not a specific character. It might be your tank, it might be your support from tag position and goes back to tag position, and this will not stack anymore and it will go away. For 8% for 10 seconds, stacks up 3 times, which I see it's 24%. It's good if you get it on the carry, but how many runs you need to do that? So it will be the random character that gets that. So increases the duration of the bleed for 15 seconds. Cool shenanigans. It means 1500 times 3 times if you want to talk about it like that. So 4500, still nothing. Whenever the tornado explosion hits an enemy fighter, the attack of random friendly fighter will be increased by 12% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. So you need to get it to 5 stars for a random character to get a buff by 12% for 5 times. Which still lackluster for me. It means a buff in 60% of attack, which is really not that high, really not that important. It's not an important EX. If you want to whale, if you're already whaling and paying money, yeah, get it for the collection, I get it. But getting it to 5 stars, I don't think that it's so much important. There's other EX moves that you can go and build for 5 stars. I think investing in them or summoning for them or buying the scrolls to summon them will be so much better than this. Still, it looks like a nice EX as a cover, as an art. But yeah, that was it for this video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fight, time to fight.